Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. And I would start off this video by talking about the breaking news, but at this point, I don't believe it can be called breaking news anymore because I believe everyone and their mother has seen it. Jon Jones is out. He tore his pectoral muscle. Stipe Miocic isn't accepting the fight. And we have a new main event, Alex Pereira versus Yuri Prochazka. And the co-main event is now going to be Tom Aspinall versus Sergey Pavlovich for the heavyweight interim belt. Guys, I could not be happier about this. I literally could not be happier about this news. This is some of the best news I have heard this entire year. And don't get me wrong, I talked about in some of my videos, talking about UFC 294, how I absolutely despise short notice fights. And this fight is on 3 weeks notice. Tom Aspinall, Sergey Pavlovich, the balls on these guys, taking a fight for a belt, taking a fight against the two, each of them respectively are like the highest ranked guys in their division, taking these fights as such high ranked contenders for a belt on 3 weeks notice. A KO loss here could severely affect their careers. Imagine if Tom Aspinall goes out there, submits him in the first round. Imagine if Sergey Pavlovich goes out there, knocks Tom Aspinall out in 30 seconds like he did to all of his other opponents. You know what I mean? It could have severe negative implications on the careers of either fighters. Of course, they'll go out there and put on a good performance. It's a pat on the wrist. It's a slap on the wrist. You know what I mean? It's a pat on the back because it's a 3 week notice fight. But at the end of the day, it's still a very important fight. This is one of the most important heavyweight fights of all time, in my opinion. And this kind of is going to cement the next triangle, the heavyweight triangle between Sergey Pavlovich, Tom Aspinall, and Ciryl Gane. Because none of these three guys have fought each other. I'm really hoping to get a situation where every single one of them has fought each other. Where we've gotten Ciryl Gane versus Sergey Pavlovich, which I would absolutely love. Where we've gotten a Tom Aspinall versus Ciryl Gane, and then where we've gotten a Sergey Pavlovich versus Tom Aspinall. So all those matchups have happened. I cannot wait till those matchups happen. I have a feeling we're never going to get all those fights to happen. The golden age never happens to MMA. We never get everything we want. But I hope that we at least get 2 out of those 3 fights. And, I'm really excited. I'm really, really excited because this is such an important fight. It's not only such an important fight, it's such a stylistically compelling matchup. You have a guy like Sergey Pavlovich who literally all of his fights are ending in first-round knockout. He's on a huge first-round knockout streak. You know what I mean? Knocks out Tai Tuivasa, easily dismantles all of his opponents just in the first round. It's not even like he knocks you out one punch. That's a misconception. People look at him and go, oh, he has one-punch knockout power. He does not have one-punch knockout power. What he does is essentially, it's like he's playing UFC 4 on knockout mode. He clips you once, and immediately, every punch after that, it's like it doubles in damage. Once he lands that 5th punch, it's essentially like you're getting hit with a brick wall. The first punch might feel like, you got hit by a left hook of Ilia Topuria. But by that 5th punch, after it keeps multiplying by 2, you take a penny, you multiply it by 2, eventually you're going to have $1 million. Same thing with his punch power. Hits you with that 5th shot, you're dead. He literally has you on Crip Street, not knowing where you are. You know what I mean? You're literally doing the Usman, the chicken dance, every time he gets rocked, you know what I mean? It's ridiculous. And it's like every time he hits you, his power just severely increases, and he has the ability to swarm guys so quickly. I'm really interested to see how his cardio looks in the later rounds. Is he still going to be able to keep that kind of power, that kind of pace in the 5th round? You know what I mean? He's shown to have pretty good cardio. He had one fight that did go on for a while, early in his career, very early on in his career, and did show decent cardio, but that was years ago. He could have severely changed. Maybe he got better cardio, maybe he got worse cardio. I'm very interested to see how Tom Aspinall can maybe get under the hips of someone that's literally built like a human refrigerator, even more so than a guy like Volkanovski or Dustin Poirier. This guy's literally built like a refrigerator, and it's going to be very hard to get under the hips. We've seen other guys try to shoot takedowns on him, and it just hasn't been able to play out in their favor. You know what I mean? So I'm interested to see how his takedown defense looks, even more so how he looks off his back, using the fence to get back up to his feet. How he looks in the clinch. His clinch striking is shown to be pretty decent so far, pretty good. You know what I mean? He's known for landing those shots in tight. He's a boxer, and he also was a very one-dimensional fighter, which I believe could play to, his demise in this fight, because he's probably never even thrown a single kick in his entire career. I've never seen him throw a single kick. Literally, everyone watching this video, comment down below if you can go and remember a fight or you can find a fight, comment the timestamp of that fight where a guy like, Sergey Pavlovich, when he has thrown a single kick in that fight, or whatever fight it may be, because I've never seen it happen. I've never seen him throw a single kick in his entire career, and that's very one-dimensional. I could see him getting exposed, maybe at range, but the problem is he's got that 84-inch reach. He has the Jon Jones reach. He can literally touch you from across the octagon. Pause. And I really see a situation here where we could see a Tom Aspinall who literally keeps his chin on a silver platter, Paddy Pimblett style. I can see him getting touched up, and it only takes one shot. Not to knock you out with him, but one shot, once he gets you rocked, once he gets your ears buzzing, and he gets your brain rattled a little bit, it's over. Once he smells blood in the water from 5 miles away, and he literally will not stop. He literally, there was this one moment in the Tai Tuivasa fight, very early on in the fight. He cracks Tai Tuivasa, tries to rush him, starts bum rushing him, and starts throwing wildly. And his defense is not very good in these moments. He's just swinging at you. He's not worried about defending himself. He's not putting up a guard. He's just throwing his arms out. So he's not very worried about getting hit back because he knows that you can only take a couple of his punches and you're done. It doesn't matter how good your chin is. And there's a moment where he goes in. Tai Tuivasa lands an excellent counter overhand. I'm not saying Tai Tuivasa is, some type of technical counter striker masterclass. Maybe he has been training with Adesanya a little bit. But, Tai Tuivasa just literally turns his head towards the floor, closes his eyes, and throws the biggest overhand I've ever seen. It cracks, Sergey Pavlovich right on the chin, and it looks like he doesn't even phase him. He literally just keeps throwing punches. He's not even rocked. His legs don't buckle. He doesn't wobble. All he does is just shut his eyes. He gets hit with the punch, and he's right back ready to go. It was one of the wildest things I've ever seen because that would have literally slept any other fighter on the roster. That would have slept Jon Jones. That would have slept Francis Ngannou. That would have slept any of these guys. And for Sergey Pavlovich to literally just eat it like cake, I can really see a situation where, Tom Aspinall just does not have success with him on the feet. Of course, that's the one punch. What happens if you start stringing some punches together? You start frustrating with the jab, getting him tired, maybe deep into the body, throwing some body kicks, some leg kicks, and then you start mixing up with that 1-2, that signature, very quick blitzing 1-2. But the problem is, I don't really see a situation where Sergey Pavlovich gives Tom Aspinall a lot of time to breathe. And I can honestly, as an early prediction, I'm going to go Sergey Pavlovich via probably KO. I don't like how Tom Aspinall keeps his chin so high in the air. Even in his last fight, he always fights like this. He always fights like he's literally trying to show off his chest muscles or his terrible chest tattoos, whatever. It always looks like what he's trying to do. And I can really see a situation where that chin just starts getting touched. And like I said, it only takes one. And you're going to be shelling up. And once you shell up against a guy like Sergey Pavlovich, the fight's essentially over. But now on to the whole Stipe Miocic thing. I could not be happier that Jon Jones pulled out. I did not want to see Jon Jones versus Stipe Miocic. As MMA Joey keeps saying, Stipe Miocic was literally impersonating a lawn chair in his last fight. He has not fought in 3 years. He was literally caught red-handed impersonating a lawn chair in his last fight, literally playing possum. He was playing dead. You know what I mean? He was literally pretending to be dead. Out cold, completely flatlined, folded like a lawn chair. He's been out for 3 years, answering phone calls from the fire department. He clearly is not terribly invested in MMA. I don't believe he has that same kind of killer spirit. He's not literally waking up and just, probably punching a brick wall like Sergey Pavlovich or getting in there, getting those extra rounds in, tying on the wrestling shoes, getting the wrestling shoes on, getting on the mats, really drilling, getting those last 5 rounds and getting an extra 5 rounds on top of that. I don't think he's doing that like Sergey Pavlovich, like Tom Aspinall. I don't think he's doing that. I think he's kind of chilling out like Cyril Gane, the good kid, Bon Gamin. I think he's chilling out. He's really taking his sweet time. He's on vacation half the time. He's answering the phones at the fire department. You know what I mean? He's more worried about he needs to be worried about a different kind of heat. That's all I'll say. He needs to be worried about a different kind of heat. He's worried about all the kind of heat from, the fires and this and that. The heat that would come at him, from Sergey Pavlovich would be unlike any heat he has ever received or ever had to go witness or take care of in his entire life. He would get finished brutally by either guy. I would pick Tom Aspinall either by first round TKO or first round submission. And I would easily pick, Sergey Pavlovich, easily pick him via first round TKO. One of the easiest wins of his life. You know what I mean? And for Jon Jones, guys, I'm going to be honest. Jon Jones has been pissing me off a lot recently. You know what I mean? He's talking about, I only want to fight the big fights. I'm not interested in the fights that people actually want to see. I'm only interested in the fights that no one wants to see. The guys like, Stipe Miocic. Who is Stipe Miocic beating? I understand. Oh, Stipe's the heavyweight GOAT. Stipe's the greatest heavyweight of all time. You know what I mean? This is literally an Uncle Rico moment, as, Joey keeps talking about, as all these other people keep talking about, all these other YouTubers, like, oh, sure, he's the heavyweight GOAT. But at the end of the day, are we really going to give GSP a welterweight title shot right now to leapfrog Colby Covington? I mean, I'd probably, I'd champion that. I would literally champion that at this point. But you can look at some of the other divisions. You know what I mean? Are we literally going to give, are we really going to give, Aljamain Sterling or Dominic Cruz? Let's give Dominic Cruz a title shot at 135 right now because he's the GOAT of the division. You know what I mean? Let's go Aljo a title shot at 135 right now. He's the GOAT of the division. You know what I mean? All these different things. Let's give GSP a title shot. Let's give Anderson Silva a title shot. You know what I mean? These are ridiculous opinions to have. Oh, he's the GOAT of the sport. He's been removed from the sport for years. He literally has not only not won a fight, not only not lost a fight, he literally has not fought in years. So I never want to see Stipe Miocic fight again. Of course, I'd love to see Jon Jones fight, but at the end of the day, this is such a better fight. I actually care about this fight. You can probably hear in my voice. I literally care about this fight. I want to see this. I really am interested to see how this plays out. Whereas for Jon Jones versus Stipe Miocic, I was considering not even making a video on it because, a lot of these cards recently I haven't been too motivated to really talk about, make videos on. But I mean, that fight in particular, I was just like, I kind of don't care. I'm not really feeling like making a prediction for it. It just doesn't matter. Like, that fight literally did not matter to me. And I'm so glad it got canceled. And, they're talking about rebooking that fight for the heavyweight title. So that really proves to me, that really tells me Jon Jones was set on retiring against Stipe Miocic, at UFC 295. I really hope this isn't the case. I hope he goes out there and fights the winner of this fight because either fight would be a banger. Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall or Jon Jones versus Sergey Pavlovich. Those would be absolute banger matchups. As for an official prediction, I am going Sergey Pavlovich, probably via first or second round TKO. But I'm really interested to see how this fight plays off, or plays out as, maybe we see Sergey Pavlovich off of his back. What's his jiu-jitsu look like? What's his defensive wrestling? What's his counter grappling? What's his clinch work look like? What's his cardio look like? What do both guys' chins look like? A lot of these different things. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and don't forget to turn on notifications so you do not miss another upload. I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.